it's not the most rowdy thing in the world, especially with this factory titanium catback on it. But if you hear it, you know there's something there. That's fun. In this video, I'm going to talk about my 2004 Corvette. So that's second and third, all the way to $7 grand, maybe 6,800. Sounds amazing when you really get it up in the revs. The engine really starts coming alive. This car is it's amazing, to be honest. And to be fair, this car was my mother's car. So my mom had several Corvettes, and before she and my father had passed, this was the last one. So I still have the car. I inherited it from them. I got the car from them with 14,000 miles, completely bone stock, absolutely no mods done to the car. The thing was immaculate. She's probably up there rolling in her grave because I'm out here doing what I consider to be fun things with the car, and she probably thinks I'm ruining it, but you know, I love it. It's a fantastic car. So 2004 C5 Corvette. It is a Z06 with the CE Commemorative Edition package, which for the people who know these cars, you're going to look at this thing and know it doesn't have all the parts on it right now. These cars did come with an actual carbon fiber hood, not this hood, which has a stick-on wrap to it, a really poorly done one because it was a sacrificial hood that I was cutting holes in. They also come with polished Z06 wheels, the 17-inch up front and 18-inch in the rear. I forget what they actually call them, but they're the Speedline wheels, but they're the polished version. You see a lot of guys that they have the chromed version of those. The CE cars were the only ones that came with the polished wheels. In fact, the only thing really different on the CE cars, the Commemorative Edition cars, is the polished wheels, this unique paint color. It's called Le Mans Blue. It's got its own unique paint color. They come with these stripes. The factory hood also had those stripes. The hood was actual carbon fiber, where most Corvette hoods are, C5 Corvette hoods are, in fact, fiberglass like this. And the seats, which are also not in the car, had the 24-hour Le Mans stitching on them to match the badges that are on the car. So they have these badges front and rear. They didn't get any additional performance though, so whatever. Most of that stuff is off the car for practical reasons, not simply to save it for the Commemorative Edition stuff, but it is nice to keep that stuff in good shape. The big one for me is the hood, because the hood on these things are impossible to get, and I wanted to cut holes in it for cooling reasons because I am doing track days in this car, and it would be a shame. It'd be a shame to do that on the good carbon fiber hood. So you can see I've got 3 big holes in here. I've got this track spec wicker right here. They sell a vent kit for these, and I elected to just put the wicker on and cut holes in my hood because it was cheap and easy, right? These are actually 18-inch Weld racing wheels. They're, oh man, the front of my car is dirty. Sorry about that. So these are 18 by 10.5-inch wheels. both front and rear. I'm running a square setup. I currently have two 95/35s on the car. However, I have another set of these same wheels where I have the 315/30s on it with 200 treadwear track day tires on it. And then I have a set of Apex wheels that go along with it. The car has Wilwood 14-inch 6-piston front brakes on it. They are the same brake that the spec Corvette guys use. I'm using I think I've got a BP30 pad in here still. So that's what the front has. The rear is just K&S blank rotors, and I think I've got an XT10 pad in the rear of this, but it is still a stock caliper. I'm investigating upgrading the rear brakes, but I just haven't got there yet. I do have a set of Apex wheels for the car as well that are 18x11 square setup. And for the guys that think, oh, you know, the factory polished wheels on these are 17s, they don't clear those brakes. I actually have 18-inch polished CE wheels for it all the way around, so I'm still running the square setup. This rear spoiler is also straight from the spec Corvette guys. This is a G-Stream. Let me see if it'll focus there. Woo! It's a G-Stream rear spoiler for these. I like that spoiler a lot because it's relatively small, kind of unobtrusive, and does add a little bit to the car, so I like that. Suspension wise, this car has stock springs on it. It's got stock bolts on it. It's just lowered front and rear on stock bolts. I think it's as far down as it can go on stock bolts. It's got Coney single adjustable shocks front and rear. It's got updated sway bars front and rear. Basically upper and lower control arm bushing upgrade front and rear, and then a fairly aggressive track alignment. You can see the camber on the front and rear on this thing. So those are the real major suspension and braking upgrades to the car, specifically for track day use. On the inside, now bear in mind I am 6'4", and C5 Corvettes weren't made for 6'4" people, so I've had to do quite a bit in here to make sure that I fit. Sparco QRT R seats on, oh geez, I'm terrible with names, aren't I? On this seat that is my phone ringing, that is mounted as far down as I can get it. I've got that on both sides, front and rear. It does have a Brake Krause harness bar on here. And it's got these saw belt 6-point harnesses. Still a stock steering wheel, still a stock shifter. I know people hate that thing. I'm fine with it, just doesn't seem to bother me. Keen eyes might notice on the interior, I've got this switch here. Z06s did not come with MagneRide or any adjustable suspension in any way. I put this switch in here as a way to turn on and off my downshift blip module. I've got the X Engineering, I think it's called, rev match module in this thing, and that is how I turn it on and off. Trunk duty in this thing, pretty straightforward, not a lot in here. I've got some pads on this side in case there's some short drivers in the car. I've got my car show chair that, like out at Tail of the Dragon, those come in handy to sit on the side of the road. And I have got my mandatory shoes. If you haven't seen me, I'm a middle-aged white dude now. In New Balance shoes, they somehow go with these cars. I'm not sure what it is, but it's part of the uniform, right? This is a 434. It's got 11 1/4 to 1 compression, so I didn't go all out with the compression because I wanted to be able to use the car at any track, at any location that I'm taking it, whether that might be on 91 octane in some areas or 93 in most that I go to, whatever. So I didn't go too high on compression. Still hydraulic roller. It's not that big of a hydraulic roller. It is MSD, Atomic Air Force. It is a Mamo ported intake. It right now just has the factory C6 throttle body on it. I have put a dedicated oil cooler in the front, which is sitting right about in this range, just in front of the radiator. So as air comes up into this, it goes through the oil cooler and then the radiator. And with this current setup, this thing has absolutely no cooling problems. It runs, oh my God, so far I can't get the thing over about 183 degrees. Just runs cool as could be, keeps the oil much cooler, works great. So I'll finish talking about it. I didn't own an LS7. I didn't buy one. This is all just aftermarket parts that I had picked up along the way. So after the short block was completed, I topped it off with a set of PRC LS7 heads. I know there are better heads out there, but I am not building a race car. I simply wanted one with a big engine and a good amount of power. And dollar for dollar, the PRC LS7 heads are a good bargain. I didn't have, like I said, factory heads to send in and have ported. So just picking those things up, they come with a big titanium intake valve, valve springs, everything ready to go. And they flow about like a ported factory casting does. So I dropped those on, again, with the Mamo intake. It's got stock LS7 rockers on it. It's got stock C5 running gear for the most part, stock the coils that were on it. It's a factory computer in the car. So Speed Inc. is doing the tune on this, and those guys have been fantastic. The tune that they had in this thing when it was supercharged was amazing. The tune in here, it feels amazing. They haven't done their final work on tunability yet. So as I get to the tunability of this thing, it's going to be amazing. Oh, I guess I should talk exhaust. So this car has LG long tubes and X pipe on it with the factory titanium catback muffler system. You can see they're a little bit dirty over there, but it sounds great. It's not too loud. It's loud. You can definitely hear it. It sounds amazing, but it's not, you can't hear me from a mile away. I think I mentioned it, not completely done on the tune. I made 570 horsepower at the tire. That was with the bad PCV system setup. I am pretty sure that when they finalize the tune with the new breather setup, it'll make 580, maybe 585, but I will update that when I get to the dyno. From the front, it's quiet like a normal C5, right? there's probably 20 things that I failed to mention on this car that people want details over. Feel free to, comment here. I try to respond to any tech questions or anything that people have about the cars, and I'd be glad to answer them. I know that, I only hit the big stuff on the engine. I would gladly go over all the detail and review what I actually have in there, or what parts were really used. All sorts of different stuff that I'm sure that I missed. Anyway, feel free to post up those questions and I will respond.